Welcome. We hope you've enjoyed the netball over the last few days, and what an exciting few days we have had, and an exciting last match, and oh my goodness, we are only just recovering. I'm Nat Pepperell, I'm with you for this final match today, and I am joined in commentary by Geraldine Maguire. Geraldine, how are you? Recovered? So we have just seen Scotland and Northern Ireland battle it out for that silver medal position, and it was going goal for goal, back and forth, and Northern Ireland in the dying seconds have come out with that win by 1 goal. Everything that we could have possibly seen in netball happened on that court today.
Absolutely everything, things I haven't seen for a long time. Yeah, it was a bit of a match, certainly entertaining for the fans, and all credit to Northern Ireland coming out with the win there. They've done Wales and Scotland by 1 goal and got themselves in the silver medal position, so congratulations Northern Ireland.
They certainly know how to have a tight game. So for this game it sees Wales and England facing out now. England just need to win this game to set themselves clear in a gold medal position. Wales, however, having only won 1 game in this tournament so far against Fiji, are now fighting out for pride, for moving into the World Cup qualifiers in January. How important is this game, Geraldine, for Wales?
Oh, it's huge. You know, they'll be slightly disappointed that they haven't put a win against one of the home nations on the board. They would have come in here with that expectation to do just that. You know, it was a very close game with Northern Ireland, and Scotland took a win about 9 goals over them. So yeah, they'll be out to prove a point today. They're a great side, they're an experienced side, and they'll be out to show what they're made of today against England.
So the teams are about to head onto court right now. So over to you, Geraldine, to give us the starting lineups for today.
Yes, taken to court for England. At goalkeeper we have Summer Atman. At goal defence Jodie Gibson. Wing defence Natalie Panigari. At centre Gabby Marshall. Wing attack and captain for England Sasha Corbin. At goal attack Nat Haythornthwaite, and goal shooter Ellie Cardwell. For Wales we see Christina Shaw taking on the goalkeeper bib, with Fern Davis at goal defence, Mia Jones at wing defence. At centre the Welsh captain Susie Drain, Bethan Dyke at wing attack, Sarah Llewellyn at goal attack, and up front in the goal shooter role Georgia Rowe.
So moving into this last game, a lineup there for Wales that we've seen quite often. Just the only change potentially is Fern Davis getting a start today in that goal defence position.
Yeah, she's come on off the bench to take that position on over the course of the weekend, so I think she's earned that starting bib today.
And looking at the lineup for England, not too much difference to what we've expected. A lineup again that we've already seen on court. Nothing unusual there.
Not at all, and certainly we were very entertained by Nat Haythornthwaite on the last match I was sitting commentating on. She was just an explosion all over the court. Power, speed, accuracy, fabulous shooting, very, very important to England. So yeah, a great lineup here for England.
Is there any matchups here today that you think are going to be particularly exciting or ones to watch?
Yeah, there's going to be a few. We've got very experienced Welsh players on court. You know, Susie Drain's an experienced captain, you know, and Gabby Marshall's quite new to the game, but coming through, well, certainly not new, but coming through in the England ranks with her first cap. So that's going to be a big job for Gabby Marshall to contain an experienced Drain today. We've got Georgia Rowe, you know, she's a huge impact for Wales now. What a height, and you know, she's not just about height, she's now got movement, she can hold her space, she drives out when she needs to, so that's going to be a test for Summer Atman. She's given a little bit in height away to Georgia Rowe there, but you know, watch this space, she's got a bit of elevation going on there when she's got a fabulous time jump, Atman, but that'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, Summer Atman, new to international senior level, won her first cap this tournament, however not new to netball in general, someone who's been coming through the ranks for a very long time, and Hertfordshire Mavericks player.
Yeah, lovely player to watch. She's got great time and really good, you know, partnerships with her defensive unit. Really, really interesting to watch this one.
So our umpires for today are Ian Fuller and Nigel Lim. We have Nadine Pardo-Zammit as our reserve. And the ball just being delivered now to Susie Drain as we prepare to start this final match. First ball out, Bethan Dyke. Oh, and a great first interception there by Jodie Gibson. Summer backing up, but just a miscommunication there. Do we think there'll be much nerves in either of these sides, or is this the business end of the tournament now?
Yeah, it certainly is the business end of the tournament for all teams now, but you know, nerves are never a bad thing. It just gets that adrenaline pumping. It's about the controlling those nerves, actually being able to deliver. You know, you just see a couple of errors creeping into experienced players' games, so yeah, nerves do have a little impact.
Yeah, Jodie Gibson got the intercept and then unfortunately just a bit of a handling error, giving it away. Sarah Llewellyn lined up. Summer Artman coming out with a tip.
Yeah, and that's a good message to Roy. She's going to have to move on to the ball, not just expect it to be delivered to her, because Artman's going to contest everything coming in here.
Sarah Llewellyn there, first shot of the game, and it goes in. Great composure from the new senior side player, fresh from under-21s in Botswana. England bring it down. Ellie Cardwell, we've seen her in many different scenarios, and she seems to have Velcro on her hands.
Yeah, she's got amazing ball handling skills. She can take the ball with one hand and still control it. You know, we're always as coaches saying get both hands in the ball. Ellie seems to be able to control it very, very well.
Lucky there from Llewellyn to drain. Jodie Gibson just getting a tip, but it gets into Georgia Rowe. Can she sink her first shot? Business as usual at the moment, going goal for goal on centre pass. That down to Sasha, and Sasha Corbin, another player that we've seen very often in that red dress, very fast wing attack.
Oh, speed is phenomenal, and what I really like watching Sasha, and it's a great lesson for you young players out there, when Sasha takes the ball, the speed of turn to face the direction she wants the ball to move is first class. You know, it's a taking turn and deliver.
I'm talking about Sasha Corbin, just runs her feet round on that, coming out with the ball. And down to another shooting opportunity for England, and that's the first centre pass turnover there. England now leading 3-2. Having no problem getting that first ball out. Nice top and pocket position from their attack. Just a handling error there from Nat Haythornthwaite.
Yeah, I think the ball was actually placed in the wrong side for Nat. She wasn't expecting it to come to the right hand side. She was holding clearly to the other side.
Wales will want to capitalise on this and take it through, having lost their previous centre pass. Just running out of options there. Nia Jones, but luckily Christina Shaw backing up there in that goalkeeper position.
Yeah, and you can see Nia Jones just telling her teammates, you need to come and help here. We shouldn't need to be playing this ball back.
That's clever of Susie Drain, just opening up the court. She's obviously a very experienced player. Just overcooked slightly from Fern Davis.
Spoke a little bit, Natalie, about that waiting in the ball and just too much power in that ball. If it had been lofted and flighted a little bit different, it would have got to her.
Just a tip there from Sasha Corbin, sent the ball all the way down the other end. Been working hard. Oh, well held, Sarah Llewellyn. It's just a little bit of juggling at the moment. Every credit to Wales for managing to keep possession. And unfortunately, you cannot stand and wait for that ball with the likes of Jodie Gibson and Summer Artman at the back. They will come through and take it. Nice simple feed from Gabby Marshall there. Nice 1-2.
She's really hitting the top of the circle, Gabby Marshall. If you see, that's about 2 or 3 feeds she's been able to clear vision straight into her shooting team.
We were talking about that in the last game. Some real good defence from both Northern Ireland and Scotland were making that difficult for each side. But so far, England managing to hit the top quite easily. And also doing a good defensive job on Wales, forcing them off.
That's an excellent feed. Real confidence there from Llewellyn. Just to let the ball go. She saw roll ball side.
Early ball out again. Nat Haythornthwaite very often free on that centre pass, and great skills again from Ellie Cardwell, just managing to turn on one foot and keep the ball in and then send an accurate pass. Takes us to 5-3. England up by 2 in these early minutes of the game. Just need Wales to take a little bit of control when they've got the ball. contact call early on. We saw some decisions in the last game which were things that we don't necessarily see all the time, with 2 players getting sent off at different points. Do you think we'll see any of that in this game?
Hope not. I hope it just doesn't come to that extent. You know, we just want to see the players being kept safe and in control.
Good challenge by Shaw early on, but Nat Haythornthwaite, very clever, runs the front.
Good fight by Cardwell to win the rebound there.
Just need to get the ball back to the centre. This seems to be something that's come into the game recently, doesn't it? This returning of the ball to the centre. What do you think about that?
Yeah, just get it back. Just get the game going. They seem to be taking an age.
Seems to be a fight to get the rebound, and then if it's your team's ball. Oh, missed interception there by Summer Artman, but Drain can't pick it up either, which means it's an England ball. All playing down one side at the moment. Good defence there by Wales, forcing them all into the sideline, just limiting those options, and then getting the 3-second call. Good drive through from Bethan Dyke, and we've got Bethan Dyke against Natalie Panigari. That'll be a good matchup.
Absolutely, Bethan Dyke. I've loved watching the growth of young Bethan over the years. You know, a great, not overly tall for a wing attack, but a little powerhouse, great speed. Again, very like Corbin, takes turns and delivers with great accuracy.
So all you budding wing attacks out there, we have 2 quality wing attacks on court right at this moment in time for you to watch and learn a bit of craft from. Just struggling to get the ball in there. Just need that target from Rowe. Good hold. Just needs to compose herself on the shot. And clever play from Llewellyn, just standing in front of Artman to prevent that 3-foot mark. Just giving Georgia Rowe another shot.
Clever placement there from Sasha Corbin, just popping the ball through closer to post for Ellie Cardwell.
And Ellie Cardwell, such a threat. We've seen her in, like we said before, in many different situations, and we've seen her at fast fives, and she truly does have capacity to put the ball in from anywhere.
Yeah, she's an absolute talented shooter, no doubt about that. Bit unstoppable at the moment.
Good pressure there from Nia Jones on Sasha Corbin. It seems at the moment for England that it's Haythornthwaite taking a lot of the first centre passes. Is it reasonable that your goal attack would take a lot of the first centre passes? Do you think that's a strategy they're working on?
It may well be. You know, quite often we're looking for your wing attack to take that pressure to allow the goal attack and goal shooter set up. But, you know, it's good to mix it up. You don't want the defence always reading, you know, a consistent set play. So, yeah, you should mix it up.
Of course, in the coaching end for England, we have Tanya Obst, an Australian coach, leading this England side, with Emily Perry, who is from the UK. A very well qualified coach in herself, has been assistant coach at Bath Super League on a number of occasions. Also led the under-21s to the Netball World Cup in Gaborone, and they came out with a bronze medal under her leadership. Oh, nice ball from Llewellyn. Oh, strong challenge there by Gibson.
Yeah, but Llewellyn not faced with that. She's just composed to offloaded the ball to Rowe. Pops the ball and gives us the score. England 11 and Wales 8.
Oh, one-handed take. We see that so often, and Haythornthwaite just confusing the defence there. And Ellie Cardwell getting in the blind spot of Shaw, just works the back beautifully.
Oh, that was excellent coverage by Nat Panigari there. She just covered the move of Bethan Dyke.
Good pick up there from Jodie Gibson. Sees that ball going awry and scoops it up. Turnover for England. England just moving the ball around through the court, just opening up the space.
Good attempt there by Cardwell to keep it in, but there's no England player backing up to keep it in play for them.
The elevation of Sasha Corbin as well. It's not very often that you can pass over the top of Sasha Corbin. She has a great vertical jump. Wales opting to play it short, and then the lifted ball into row. Do you feel like they should capitalise a bit more on that height?
I think they can, yeah. I think if you just, it's about getting round and sighting and seeing and having the confidence to put it in. Reading where the defence is, playing the ball to the opposite side. So yeah, good feed by Susie Drain.
Good second phase there by Sasha Corbin, nice and deep. Uncharacteristic miss from Ellie Cardwell, but as we said in the last game, you miss it and you get the rebound. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, and Thomas had a good box out there, which she just followed through and carried her body just slightly further through it than was necessary, and it allowed Cardwell to come through and steal the ball back.
Good challenge there from Sasha, but still manages to keep the player upright, holds on to her to keep her up. It's a great display of sportsmanship.
Lovely take by Bethan Dyke there.
Llewellyn just driving out. Clever play there by Llewellyn, driving out, pulling out the goalkeeper out the circle just to make it one-on-one for Georgia Rowe against Gibson.
Yeah, I think this is a really good combination for me watching Llewellyn. I think she's reading Rowe very, very well. She's got the confidence to let the ball go. She's taking, her speed is drawing some of the defence. So yeah, it's working at the moment.
So 14-10 so far in this quarter, England lead. Is this the kind of score that you'd be expecting to see at this point, Geraldine?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. You know, Wales have come out fighting. They're going to make sure England don't get that early lead, you know, too much in the first quarter. I think this is a fair call. The score reflects what we're seeing in front of us at the moment.
The Welsh games so far have been quite close. They lost to Northern Ireland by 1 goal, lost to Scotland by 9, but were very much in it up until the last few minutes of the game. Good shot there by Ellie Cardwell. Takes the England lead out to 5. Wales will be looking for the turnover now. Unlucky there by Davis. Just goes for the fly, but unfortunately that leaves Haythornthwaite open. Cardwell goes for the rebound but can't keep it in. Wales will get another shot. See a lot of strong man-on-man defence in this game. Panigari and Bethan Dyke having a real tussle.
Yeah, there's a lot of work having to be done in the attacking third here by Wales. The ball's flowing quite nicely through the first 2/3 and just a little bit static, trying to get the ball through to shoot the circle.
Good triangle there by England, something that they are very able and capable of doing.
And it's the speed of swinging that ball from pocket to top of the circle or vice versa that's very difficult to defend.
Wales just having a bit of trouble getting that first ball out on the centre pass. Finds both of their attackers over the line. Good pressure there by Nat Haythornthwaite on Nia Jones.
Yeah, she's just gone offside, so Welsh ball.
Again, Llewellyn being free to run around outside. Nice ball there by Susie Drain. That's the kind of ball they want in, isn't it? The one that goes up and then just drops down right on top of your goal chute. Good hold there by Ellie Cardwell. And 1 minute left, and this is a 6-goal game. Wales could do with this going in and taking it down to 5. Will they run the clock down first, do you think?
I think they're actually just really, really trying to get the ball through and looking for that opportunity. They're being very composed and not wasteful of the ball, so just trying to get the ball through and give themselves as many opportunities as possible. Llewellyn
opting to pop the pass off to Georgia Rowe, and she scores that, so 24 seconds left now for England to take it back out to 6. Good change of angle there by Cardwell. It's Shaw that gets a hand to it, but unfortunately falls to Sasha Corbin for Shaw. Final play of this quarter. Good shot there by Ellie Cardwell. Not even seeming to notice the pressure on that final shot. leaves us with England lead at the moment by 6 goals. It is 18 goals to 12. So, thoughts on the first quarter, Geraldine?
Yeah, very few nerves shown. I think both teams have settled quite well. Certainly there's a lot of defensive pressure in the Welsh attacking third, and I do like the composure the Welsh team are showing. They are actually working hard for each other. They're happy to play it back if they need be. There are the occasions I think they could be brave and put it in, and I think that will test Artman a little bit more if they just let the ball go and get the ball into Rowe's hands.
Do you think we'll see any changes for either side?
Let's wait and see. There's a lot of coaching chat going on both benches at the moment. It's possibly a chance, to get some fresh legs on. Just the Welsh team will certainly be wanting to put as much pressure on England here, and they've got a very experienced bench, so they may choose to run that and just continually put fresh legs on and good pressure.
Don't forget, we are on Twitter, #NEOpen. Please send us your thoughts. We had some great jokes come in the last game. We have Lisa Brain on Twitter has said, Wales, 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 you can win this. Come on. We would love to hear from you. Andy Lamb. Oh, we don't need to read that one. Abby Guerrier Sadler. I hope I've said that right, Abby. Come on England has also tweeted a picture, so perhaps she is around here somewhere. Make sure you're cheering nice and loud, Abby. So it's 18-12 so far to England. Some great play at the beginning of this game. Do you think that England might run away with this in the first half, or do you think that Wales have the capacity to come back?
Yeah, well, I think we do have a mixture of youth and experience in the England team, and it's about them, consolidating and pushing on with this. They are capable of doing that. It's up to Wales to make sure that doesn't happen.
We can see Trish Wilcox and Mel Tuckwell there giving lots of advice, lots of hand actions, lots of writing to her team, making sure she knows exactly what it is that she's expecting from them. And as we've already said, we're hoping that they can capitalise a bit more potentially on that height of Georgia Rowe in the circle. It'll be interesting now on the last game of this tournament to see whether England play some fresh legs, whether they mix it up, or whether they're happy with this steady chip away at the scoreline at the moment.
From what I can see at the moment, there's no changes coming from England. That bench is not moved. They're going to put the trust in those 7.
You can see that's the Welsh mascot there having a little bit of a jig about. Dewey, the dragon, can honestly say is the best dancing dragon I've ever seen. It's not a sentence we say very often. And there's some of the Welsh players as well from the long squad at the back, cheering on their team. Jess Marcillo on Twitter. Come on England, Ellie Cardwell is a machine with those shots. We completely agree with that, Jess. One of the best shooters in the game at this moment in time, with hands like Velcro. There's a challenge for all you players back home. You see Ellie Cardwell quite often, she'll have the ball in one hand. She can hold that ball in one hand and move it around in just one hand by gripping onto it. That's a challenge for you all back home to try and do. So England coming out now into their huddle. As you've alluded to already, Geraldine, we can't see any changes for the England side at the moment. Seems to be pretty much the same. However, we do have a change at the back for Wales. It seems we have Christina Shaw has moved into the goal defence position from goalkeeper, which means Fern Davis is taken to the bench, and we have Layla Thomas on at goalkeeper at the back. Layla Thomas is a Celtic Dragons player and a Welsh under-21 player as well, and representing her country at the World Youth Cup in Botswana. So no novice to this situation. Early turnover there for England. Panigari moving the ball through with speed, and Sasha Corbin, great step round just to offload that ball. Opting not to shoot from that position. Ellie Cardwell moves it round.
Yeah, and that's unusual for Cardwell. That may be not her favourite spot, and if the defence have got a, picking that up, that's where they want to force her to.
Having spoken to some of their coaches in the past, I know England are very keen on making sure that they take the most out of every opportunity in terms of learning. So it could well be that there are some conditions that Tanya Obst and Emily Perry have asked for. We know that Ellie Cardwell can shoot from distance, but they may be trying to get her to get under the post for future games. strong early start by England, sees them with another turnover on that centre pass.
Yeah, Llewellyn just pushed really, really wide, and it's been a misplacement of the pass that's caused her to fall off the court at the centre pass and given the ball over to England.
It's interesting for Wales, we don't see Kyra Jones on in that centre position today, and she's generally been starting for Wales in that position. Do you think there's any reason?
Yeah, I mean, she certainly warmed up, so I'm not aware of any injuries. We've not heard about anything, so yeah, it's unusual. We would have expected to see her line up there.
Still a very strong mid-court for Wales. Means that they must be fighting for every position on court. Good decision from Llewellyn just to reset that ball when nothing's on in front rather than forcing it in. Bethan gets the contact call there. Strong arms over by Nat Panagari. But Susie Drain sees that pass, sends it in, and Georgia Rowe converts. Good shot. Sasha Corbin, such quick hands.
Yeah, and a great feed in by Marshall. Just a bullet ball straight under to the post to Cardwell.
Umpire just having a word off screen there. I think that's about getting the ball back. We all want to see 60 minutes of this game, so get the ball back to your centre. Great ball in there, and that's much better from Rowe. That's something that we've not necessarily seen too much of her in this competition. I personally don't think is that strong hold on the edge and then playing to post.
Totally agree, and Bethan Dyke can read that so well. You saw the speed that she saw, the space was there, and she lets the ball go. Perfect delivery, so yeah, it would be nice to see some more of that.
So off to Bethan Dyke and then back to Susie Drain. Llewellyn getting the contact call, driving straight into the circle. She knows that Rowe needs the ball under the post and she can shoot more from distance, and so just interchanging that position and doing that rotation. Really clever play there by Llewellyn.
Just interesting, Natalie, we've been handed the shooting stats from quarter one, and we see the Welsh pair putting at 100% in the first quarter, 12 from 12, which is excellent. 11 taken by Rowe, so high execution there, and 82% from England, but far more attempts. They had 10 more attempts in that quarter than the Welsh, so 18 out of 22. But they'll be happy with that. Cardwell 16 from 18. That's phenomenal shooting.
And we talked about that, didn't we, in the first game, that the shooting stats are all well and good, but if the number of attempts is low, then you're really going to struggle. But nice to see that even when the attempts are low, that team are capitalising on those attempts and making sure that they sink them. We have a 9-goal game. No, we have an 11-goal game. I can't do my maths. Now 12.
Now 12. With foresight.
Wales really need to take control of this now and try and make sure they keep themselves in this game. They don't want to be going into half-time with a big deficit. Great ball there from Llewellyn.
Yeah, it was slightly forced. She had no other options, but great to take that, have the confidence, have the look in and let the ball go.
Llewellyn training to be a doctor. We are very clever people, us netballing lot, would like to point out.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, you know, and we do talk about that back at Netball Scotland, the amount of high achieving both academically and on court. They seem to go hand in hand. It just breeds that commitment, discipline, dedication. So please, young people out there, don't think you can't study hard, achieve well and succeed in the netball court.
Great arms over there by Layla Thomas, just reading that pass and getting the tip, just unfortunately falling back into England hands. And a lovely quick pass there from Haythornthwaite to Cardwell to convert that. Nice first and second phase there, but deemed to be breaking, I think, there. Oh no, contact. It's 2-on-1 in the circle. Can Wales capitalise? Georgia Rowe won't want to shoot from that position. Panagari just going offside for that interception. Clever pass back from Llewellyn, but just
Doing a bit of ping pong here, but we've managed to get it back safely into Welsh hands. Rowe just setting up the shot. Nice goal. England now sitting at 29 and Wales 17.
It's a good turnover for Wales. They just now need to make sure that they convert off their own centre pass. And another long ball in from Llewellyn. Great pass. England will want to look at trying to cut that out, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly need more hands over that feeder's ball. You know, it's a big pass in. It's giving your defence sight of it, but there's got to be a lot more pressure on it.
Oh, great interception there by Shaw. Just again, unlucky that it fell into the wrong hands. She just needs to make sure when she comes through she can try and control that.
Yeah, she's working really hard in there, and her timing and reading's really good. She just needs a bit of backup from her teammates to scoop these up for her.
Oh, contact call there. We've seen that quite a lot this tournament. Contact caused by attacking players. But unfortunately Wales can't capitalise on that. And they're the kind of errors that they really need to make sure they cut out. They work so hard to get that interception, and then a long ball through court, just giving it away. It's
really frustrating as a team when you do that, and it's something you need to practice and practice. You know, just that adrenaline rush when you win a ball. You have to have that composure and just bring the ball through nice and calmly.
On the other side, quick pop pass from Haythornthwaite gives Ellie Cardwell another shot. Some more discussions between the umpires and players, and another long ball.
Yeah, England will need to start looking at that now. You know, Artman's just not coping with that ball coming in. That's the last three have gone in at that height and that speed and delivery, so they need to do something different.
Good vision and good accuracy from Llewellyn to be sending those balls. We look at it from this perspective and it looks easy, but it's not an easy ball to send. Rowe just pointing out to her mid-court where she wants the ball placed.
And that's great positioning by Dyke. She's bang on the circle line. No defensive arms can get in front of her. So she's got great vision under the post here, 15.
This is much better play by Wales, bringing us back to 31-21. Still staying within that 10-goal margin at the moment. England doing a good job to keep them up court. Good strong challenge there by Jodie Gibson. Quick feet by Llewellyn, but unfortunately just a contact there from Marshall. Means the ball is fumbled a little bit, but great ball into Rowe. Good patience there from Gabby Marshall, and quick hands of Nat Haythornthwaite. She's very good at that 1-2, isn't she?
Yeah, it's an excellent move, and it's a trademark move from her. So difficult for the defence to stop that, especially when your feeders bang on the circle line. It's a quick 1-2 and in.
Long diagonal ball, but it works. Layla Thomas just needs to take her feet around that a bit more to stop that pop pass. That's something else that we're seeing quite often happen now in this game, that little pop pass between Haythornthwaite and Cardwell.
Yeah, we saw that lots in the last game between the Bowman sisters, and with McCulloch she was still feeding Bowman. Lisa Bowman holds that position well too.
There's that pop pass again.
Great take by Cardwell.
Well, centre pass, just timing a little bit off at the front. Players getting ready to come over just a little bit too early, means that they're then covered by the time the whistle goes. Nice roll there by Rowe. Three
held ball, I think, called. Certainly wasn't from there. Hartman's going to be asked to reposition.
Patience there just from England. Nice give and go there by Jodie Gibson, just getting some depth through court by laying it off and going herself.
Oh, fabulous take.
Brilliant take by Nia Jones, and Bethan Dyke scoops it up. Quick transition for Wales. Good play there by Llewellyn.
Yeah.
finished off by a great shot.
Yeah, great shot. She was just waiting on the jump going, give her a clear vision of the post.
Down the other end, equally as fast. Cardwell holding to post. Thomas goes for the inset, but just doesn't quite get there. Good challenge there by Marshall. And a great feed.
Yeah, that's a great centre pass. That's what you're looking for. Just good movement, strong takes, confidence to give the ball to your teammate. Finish it off with a goal. Nice job.
So don't forget, you can get in touch with us on Twitter, #NEOpen. A couple of comments coming through from the last game. Some people still recovering. If you have any insights on this game or anything you want to share with us, let us know who you're cheering on. Score predictions. We'd love to hear from you. That's #NEOpen.
Yeah, Wales did well to win that ball back. It was a great take by Artman, but pressure around the top of the circle from Dyke, and they've won the ball back.
Strong challenge there by Nia Jones, but deemed to have contacted Sasha Corbin, so she will stand out for a second while they take this pass. And there's that trademark triangle that we see so often, and good run around the front by Haythornthwaite.
Oh, Cardwell just called for pushing off the defence there. Don't think she agrees, but umpire's call.
Yeah, she looks a bit confused. I'm not sure she's 100% sure what it is that she's doing. I'm sure her coaching team will have some input for her at half time. Ian Fuller there, the umpire, just taking control of the game, making sure that he's very clear with the players so they understand what's going on. Good shut down there by England at the front, forcing that ball to go backwards.
Nia Jones just split second to get that ball released as well, but unfortunately Llewellyn not able to keep the ball in.
Yeah, England defence at the moment doing a really strong job on keeping all those Welsh players non-ball side and quite wide. It's forcing the Welsh team to pass right onto the edge. And obviously that's where the errors can be made.
Absolutely. The margin of error becomes less and less, so easier to bring the ball through the court, midway through the court space.
Nia Jones talking to her teammates there, trying to get them into a structure to try and put pressure on this ball. Shows nice, good leadership skills with the two youngsters at the back.
Oh, lovely.
Great ball by Llewellyn, and that's the partnership that you were talking about that's really starting to develop between Llewellyn and Rowe.
Absolutely, just that confidence and the power to take it when you're up in the air and turn and deliver, so well, good job.
Good hustle there by Nat Haythornthwaite. I think Nat's a great player to show how, as attackers, you need to defend as well as attack.
Yeah, she's a little workhorse. There's no ball goes to her goal defence uncontested by her.
That split. Legs covered half of the circle.
It's a great example of, understanding what your players' capabilities are. The English players know that they can deliver that ball way off the defence because Cardwell has that reach. That's not going to be the same for all players.
Gabby Marshall getting a little bit excited on that one. Sends the ball off the back line. Good pressure there again by Gabby Marshall. It's just really strong, relentless defence here by England. Strong, hard challenges on every pass, making it quite difficult for the Welsh attack to get the ball up, and then that's that long ball. 40 goals to 26 going into half time. 14-goal ball game now. Is it damage limitation from this point? Are you looking at a fight back? I mean, 14 goals over 2 quarters, it can be done.
It's doable.
Can it be done from these two sides?
Yeah, it certainly is doable, but I think the pressure that England can push on through, it's going to be a really tough job for Wales to bring that back and come out with the win. But what they'll be wanting to do is ensure that quarter by quarter their performance improves, they score more goals and they restrict England a little bit more.
So if you are Trish Wilcox right now, what is it that you'd be saying to your team to try and come out with a closer score going into the next quarter?
Yeah, she's going to focus on what worked there, what worked where, they take turn, deliver, have a look in, be confident, let the ball go. Bethan Dyke managed to do it well and did it really, really well too. So that's real positive. She'll be encouraging that. On the flip side, you're going to have Tanya Obb saying to them, you need to cut this off. These long balls have come in. Artman's sighting it just a little bit too late. I don't know if it's her positioning. Maybe her eyes are dropping a little bit too much and she's got to get her vision up. So yeah, there's lots of work-ons for both.
England obviously have the likes of Leah Kennedy and Josie Huckle, who both probably have a little bit of height on Summer Artman. Do you think that's maybe a change that England might make at the back to cut down those high balls?
It possibly is, yeah. They've certainly both got more height, possibly a little bit more experience than Summer Artman, but this is a learning ground. It's about how you learn through this game. Sometimes it's not the right thing to take someone off. It's keep them on, give them instructions. Can they take them on board? Can they deliver against it? So we'll see how it works, but maybe Tanya Obbs has given Summer half an hour now to sort that out, and she'll be looking to bring on fresh legs, different opposition, which is going to change the game for Wales. They then can't turn and put that long ball in. Josie Huckle is really tall, match up against Rowe if that is the change that we see coming.
We've obviously seen a lot of different lineups in the England lineup in the England team over the last few days. We've seen yesterday Sophie Drakeford-Lewis coming on. We've also seen Vicky Asola playing back at wing defence. Nat Panagari maybe moving to the centre. Do you think that Tanya will be wanting to move around her team now, especially considering we're coming to the end? This is the last game of 5 games. That they're going to be quite tired by this point.
Yeah, they must be tired, and they played 2 games in the one day. That was yesterday, if I'm right. England came out and played 2 games in one day. That's tough. That's tough on anyone, no matter what your fitness level. And it would be great to see Drakeford-Lewis coming on again. She needs exposure. She's had her first cap. It's all about what it feels like. It's all right watching it, watching videos and analysing, etc. But you just don't know what it is till you're in that game and you actually feel the speed and the power and what's going on round about you and how you can actually bring your training results onto that game.
And potential changes then that could potentially, we're guessing at the moment, we obviously don't know what these coaches will do or what they're thinking, but bearing in mind that you could anticipate that England would bring on a taller defender, would you bring on Chelsea Lewis? We've seen Chelsea and Georgia before to get that height more in the circle.
Yeah, it's certainly something Trish Wilcox has used this tournament. She started off using Chelsea as a starting 7. She's began coming off at half time and coming on to make an impact, and both combinations are equally as impactful but very different. They bring a different dimension to the game, and when Chelsea's game's on, she's on fire. She can put that ball through the net and it gives another dimension to the Welsh attack. So that's possibly something. They're back of house. Both teams have left court. They've gone for a bit of peace and quiet just to get their head back in the game and talk to the management team, and we'll see what they come back on courtside with.
And it's interesting, isn't it, that we've got that option now with 12 minutes in that middle half break, because the fans are really close, the supporters are really close. And does that impact your coaching as a coach?
It can. It depends on what you want and how you deal with that, how your players are dealing with it. It may just be you just need that peace and quiet, you need that downtime. Sometimes there's half-time entertainment. We can see your dragon going about entertaining the fans. You can hear the PA system, the noise. It might just be, let's get off-site, focus, bit of peace and quiet, and let's have a good team chat. Other teams choose to stay courtside.
So on Twitter, Francesca, can't beat having Home Nations netball on TV on a Sunday. We completely agree, Francesca. We've just had the most amazing game for Scotland, Northern Ireland, and now seeing the talent and class on display for England, Wales. Completely agree. Taya Gibbons, let's go Wales, supporting our college coach Kyra Jones, #NEOpen. Nice to hear from you, Taya. Tom Noakes, supporting England netball all the way, and then 3 roses emojis. Hi Tom, nice to hear from you. And Samantha Iyer, netball, #NEOpen, come on roses. It's great to hear your comments on Twitter, so please do keep them coming. no jokes as of so far this game, so if you've got any, please send them in. Although there were some crackers in the last game, so I'm not sure whether they can be beaten. But come on, send us your comments, send us your jokes. We'd love to hear from you. Hashtag NEOpen. So this is the last game of Netball Europe Open Championships, and then for these teams moving forward, we've got such an action-packed year coming up of netball with the World Cup qualifiers, which England Netball are already qualified, so that sees Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland playing out for 2 places.
Yeah, it's a tough one, really tough. You know, we are so proud as a region to have 4 of the top teams in the top 12 in the world. It's a fantastic, you know, all credit to everything that's in place, the people, the pathways, the coaches, the players, the athletes, the support, that we have 4 teams in the top 12. But unfortunately, the way the rules are at the moment, there's a qualification and we only have 3 slots. So one of these 4 teams, 3 teams are going to miss out, and that's really tough. It's really it is what it is, but it's going to be a tough gig in Perth in January, and someone is not going to be heading to Liverpool in 2019.
Northern Ireland have definitely put their stamp out there in this competition, proving that they will intend to and deserve to be part of that Netball World Cup. They'll be coming out with a fighting challenge, and would you say that they're now the team to be scared of going into those 3 matches?
Yeah, you know, they've got the confidence. They've come away from here with a silver medal, so that's fantastic. But the results were tight. You know, Wales only lost by 1, Scotland lost by 1. There is literally nothing in it. On the day is what matters in January, and there's a lot of prep to be done. You know, there's still a lot of work. Hopefully everyone's fit and, you know, rearing to go in January and just bringing their A game to the audience. I'm hoping we can live stream it, fingers crossed. It's exactly what we would love to be able to do, and you know, we'll have a packed audience at Perth UHI in January, and we'll see what it brings. But it's not, there's no result already in the bag up there.
It was good to see Lisa Bowman just outside of here after the game. The team came up, and having seen Lisa out, she was obviously the assistant coach for Northern Ireland at the Netball World Youth Cup, so managed to get a sweaty hug off her, and I can tell you they were so happy with that result.
Yeah, I think what's really good, you know, as home nations, we're all working really collaboratively together to improve and strengthen the game, because we're all in it for the same reasons. The rivalry stays on court, you know, there's no love lost out there. Wales want to win, Northern Ireland want to win, England win, Scotland, that's what we do. But off court, you know, we all work really, really hard at improving, you know, all aspects of this game. So yeah, I can imagine the joy they had in that win against Scotland this morning.
Absolutely. And now going into the second half of this game, still plenty left in this half an hour. We have England leading by 40 goals to 26. On court we see some changes, some we may not have foreseen. For Wales, we see Carly Mosley coming on at goal attack, which means Sarah Llewellyn has taken to the bench. Kyra Jones has moved to centre, with Susie Drain moving back to that wing defence position. Layla Thomas has stayed on at goalkeeper. Christina Shaw takes to the bench, and Nia Jones moves to goal defence. For England, as we discussed, we see Josie Huckle having come on to that goalkeeper position. Vicky Asola coming on at goal defence. Then at the front, we still see the same front lineup that we saw in the first quarter of that game, with Nat Haythornthwaite and Ellie Cardwell in the shooting circle. So, changes that we would have expected?
Yeah, some of them we did expect to see the introduction of Huckle there just as a match-up for that height against Rowe, and just to give some, you know, a little bit tougher game for the Welsh attacks to be feeding in there. But we've seen the introduction, as we thought we might see, of Drain coming on to centre. Jones coming on to centre, and she's really experienced.
Well kept in there by Bethan Dyke, managed to offload to Carly Mosley, but unfortunately she can't convert. And mishandling as well by England sees the ball back in Welsh hands.
Shooting stats just delivered to us again, Natalie, from the second half, and again, so impressive, you know. All credit to all you shooting specialist coaches out there, because you're doing your job. And Sam, both 100% by England and Wales for the second half, and quite a match up on the attempts. 12 by England and 14 by Wales.
Good job, shooting coaches. in England possession at the moment, looking for another score on that board. Ball in. Oh, very quick play by England. And as we've talked about, that's one of the things that England's style of play is quick, but Wales come out with a turnover. Thomas to Drain to Jones to Dyke, over to Jones. There's 3 Jones. I'll start using first names. Into Georgia Rowe. Great shot. Nice transition there by Wales through court. And that's what they need to keep doing now if they want to try and chip away at this dominating England scoreline. Well seen there. Great early ball into Rowe. Yes. Josie Huckle caught hunting.
Great vision. That's what you want from your wing attack. Saying, take the ball, first option, have a look in. Is the shooter on? Give her the ball.
Unlucky there by Thomas. But fantastic ball placement by England. Nia Jones now in that circle. Probably one of the shorter goal defences that we see.
Yeah, she's certainly short, but dogged and determined.
Although in real life, I say real life, not netball life, she's probably not actually that short. Good strong drive there by Panigari. Beautiful feed. Oh, out of court. No?
I don't know if that's a footwork call. Didn't quite spot it.
Good strong take there by Dyke. Georgia Rowe working hard to try and get in front.
Yeah. You could see, I think actually Jones could have given that ball a split second quicker to Dyke, just to take the pressure off. Just holding on to that little bit too long. It's putting pressure on each other. Oh,
great shot. Good job.
I think we agree.
It's good to see Cara back in the game. We haven't seen a played match in this Netball Europe. But if she's going to shoot like that, she will definitely keep herself on the court. There's good tracking there by Susie Drain on Sasha Corbin. Sasha's change of direction is so quick. But Drain just managing to stay in front of her.
Yeah, that's not an easy job. She's one of the fastest in the game, Sasha Corbin.
Nothing on in front, leaves Kyra sending it back to Nia. Good arms there by Panigari. And that's the long ball that we talked about before, the nice high ball that we'd like to see them capitalising on into the height of Georgia Rowe in that circle. 13 goals in it now. England lead 45 to Wales's 32. Nice change of direction there from Ellie Cardwell on the baseline, and that's something, you know, she's got so many tricks in her toolbox, Ellie Cardwell. She can hold front, she can hold back, and she has a fantastic change of direction on that 90-degree angle, going back to post and then just popping out.
Absolutely, she's just a bit of a package deal just now. She's got a huge options in her bag to pull out on court.
Ellie Cardwell currently at 7 stars, but learnt her trade in a Manchester Thunder, where she probably would have come under the shooting coaching of the amazing Tracy Neville and Karen Gregg, both who have been, and probably still are, amazing shooters in their time. Started off her career, I do believe, as a defender. My claim to fame is she grew up in the same town as me, from Blackpool Netball Club, I think.
Nice shot.
Good job, Wales. England centre pass. Ian Fuller just holding time, making sure that we don't lose a second of this game. Good skill by Nat Haythornthwaite there, not to go offside. She'd run to the line. Wasn't quite ready, but managed to hold it. Nice, calm and composed finish shot. England keeping Wales all on one side of the court again.
You can see the work that Nat Haythornthwaite's putting in. As you say, she's one of the best defence from attacking positions. You know, never a ball goes past her uncontested.
Nice high ball up, but great contesting there from Vicky Asola. Another younger one of the game, but very experienced in the fact that she has been playing at a very high level now for a long time.
And it's so important just to make sure you've got that succession plan. You know, all players at some point are going to retire. You know, we have a Com Games coming up, we have a World Cup coming up in the next 2 years, and that's generally the landmark events and competitions that we see the more experienced and players who've given that dedication for years hanging up their netball trainers. So we need to see who's next coming through.
Long ball from Bethan Dyke. Georgia Rowe just couldn't quite hold on to that one. Gives England another shot through court. Wales doing a good job now of putting some pressure on and just slowing that ball down slightly. Obstruction call from there just sends the ball back to the top with Nat Panigari. Thomas moving her feet, trying to confuse some of the space, but good front position there by Haythornthwaite and a great shot.
So solid in that, her timing in the turn, it's just a quick turn and pop. It's executed so well.
Nat Haythornthwaite plays goal attack and wing attack. We sometimes see her in that wing attack position. Equally able at both. Good shot there by Georgia Rowe. I mean, Georgia Rowe's shooting has improved massively, hasn't it, over this tournament as well?
Absolutely, and you know, she's learned her trade. I have watched her grow over the last 3-4 years, possibly a little bit longer than that, and the development of her game is fantastic. So all credit to the Welsh coaching team, everyone who's, you know, worked with her over the years, and all credit to her herself. You know, as coaches, we all know you can work on everything. If the player doesn't put that effort in, it's never going to come to fruition. So she's really worked hard at her game.
Good roll there by Josie Huckle, just unfortunately deemed to be using her arms, but just rolled around the back of Georgia Rowe. She's trying to confuse that space, but also prevent that back space so Rowe can't hold to post. Oh, just rolls around the edge for Cara. And contact there by Jodie Gibson gives them a second bite of the cherry. And this time Cara puts it away.
Yeah, she's doing really well, Cara Lee Mosley. As you say, she's not had a lot of court time this competition, and she hasn't been about in the, you know, in the international scene for maybe a year or so. So all credit to her. She doesn't look as though she's lost too much touch.
Yeah, Cara Lee Mosley just signed for Celtic Dragons for this season, as have quite a few of the Welsh players so far. Do you think that's also preparation potentially for Commonwealth Games? And
absolutely. Yeah, it's really, really important. We've seen the difference, you know, if you look at the Scotland team, those who were, you know, playing a huge part within the Sirens, having that week in, week out competition at that level, it certainly improves the game, and we're all on this journey towards Commonwealth Games and certainly World Cup qualifiers.
Good strength there by Panigari, takes it quickly. Nice 1-2 there between Cardwell and Corbin. Safe hands of Cardwell through the net. Welsh centre pass. Oh, great tracking there by Asola. Just gets a tip to it. Rowe and Mosley setting up for a back screen maybe. No, Mosley pops through the front. Good court craft by her. Oh, well intercepted Kyra Jones and manages to keep it in. Offloads quickly to Nia. Oh, another attacking contact, this time by Georgia Rowe.
It was just deemed to be called for backing into Huckle.
England just taking their time. It's a little bit of tussle going on there between Nia Jones and Ellie Cardwell. Wales come out with it. Nice swing across the circle.
Oh, and good screen.
Oh, great fight by Vicky Asola. Oh, unlucky, unfortunate, just a little bit too much on that sweep to keep it in. Good stretch by Josie Huckle. Deemed a little bit too close, so Cara will get another bite of that cherry, see if she can sink it this time. Nice shot. Wales just starting to chip away slightly maybe at this score.
And that was a nice reverse hand in by Gibson, just unfortunately unable to control it, but England have now one possession back. Oh, that's
nice.
A great ball through to Panigari.
Sometimes you can't understand how they manage to get it through such a small space, but that's what doing your wall work and ball work day in, day out will help you to achieve. Socially Awkward on Twitter says, great name by the way, Panigari and Cardwell are going to be giving Tracy Neville some tough selection decisions. We think you're right. Oh, lovely ball there by Bethan Dyke. Georgia Rowe just popping out the front. Great shot. Little clap there by Georgia, awarding her teammate for that pass. Teresa on Twitter says, Plymvik NC, watching and cheering the Roses on a Sunday. They don't get much better than this.
Oh, that's a great swing of the ball by Haythornthwaite. Good cut across the circle.
Nice shot. Just at the end of this quarter again, England just getting those scores on the board, and Wales just can't seem to keep the composure right until the end, can they?
Yeah, just a few little fundamental errors coming in that's causing turnovers to happen and give possession to England.
Good shot there by Haythornthwaite. Recomposes herself after that contact. Ball taking its time to get back to the centre. We have 30 seconds left of this quarter three. An error there, a breaking error by Corbin gives Susie Drain the ball.
Yeah, they'll be really keen to take this all the way through to goal and get another goal on the board before the clock runs down.
Well read there by Josie Huckle. Carolee Mosley ran the front to try and pull off the defence, but she didn't get drawn that time, dropped back and covered that high ball. And unfortunately Wales just give that one away. 10 seconds now. Can England get this ball down to push this gap out to 16? They need to get it down quick. 6 seconds left. Great ball.
Ooh. Just untimed that.
Bit of a talking to. Nia Jones puts her body on the line for every single ball, but very apologetic and nowhere near. It's all in the spirit of the game. She's just trying to get the ball for her team, and that's the end of quarter three. England 56, Wales 40. So Wales keeping them a little bit close to that quarter potentially, but still the gap ever growing.
Yeah, but I do think they've done a good job that time, that quarter. Wales, you know, the gap didn't really, it could have drawn out a lot more than it did. We're still sitting at 16 goals. I think going into this one we were about 13-14, so yeah, pretty evenly matched there, and I think Huckle could have had more of an impact when she came on. I do feel the Welsh fed the ball really quite nicely. Carolee certainly has settled in really quickly, Carolee Mosley, so yeah, I think Wales will be happy with that performance in that quarter.
And the changes at the back for Wales, do you think that was a good call?
Yeah, I think the girls did a good job in there. it is really, really difficult to contain Ellie Cardwell right now in the speed of Haythornthwaite, but you know, they were really going almost goal for goal there for quite some time, so it's great for those guys to be in there and feel that, and the pressure that it is playing against such top world class attackers.
And considering the talent that Wales have on that bench, do you think we'll see many changes going into this last quarter?
Yeah, I think we might see the reintroduction of a couple of other players we've seen over the tournament. You know, we saw Amanda Vardy taken to court yesterday, and you know, she's certainly, you know, has great speed, and Bethan Dyke's done a great job, so it does look as though we're going to see her coming on to wing attack. She's another asset to the Welsh team and can come off that bench and, you know, slot right in there. There's no bedding in time, so she'll do a good job.
And for England now, what do you think will be going through Tanya Ops and Emily Perry's minds? Do you think they'll be mixing it up to push the scoreline further, to get players court time? What do you think the thinking will be there?
Yeah, I think they're just going to push for a bigger scoreline and goal win here. You know, they're going to make sure the players that they've put the bibs on are going to deliver for them, and just keep pushing on and put the scoreline more on the board for them.
We have a joke.
Oh.
It's Mike Yan again. He's obviously the comedian for netball. We need to make friends, Mike. What do you call an official who can't decide?
I have no idea, Mike. What do you call an official who can't decide?
An umpire.
Loving them, Mike.
I'm really sorry to everybody that thinks these are cheesy, but I'm finding them absolutely hilarious. Please keep your comments coming to us. There is 15 minutes left of this match. It is great display of netball out on court for us today. We've had such good display of netball at this competition. It's been amazing to hear, but we want to know what your thoughts are. Tweet us, #NEOpen. We will try and read out some of your tweets. 15 minutes left to see what these athletes can deliver. Now looking down to the benches, we can see Georgia Fisher with a goal shooter bib on, so this could be a potential change coming on now. We also see Leah Kennedy with a bib on. They're all dancing to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so I can't actually 100% tell for you at the moment, but they've got dancing skills too. Good job, England. Let's see if they can strut their stuff dancing onto the court as well. Dancers and netball players, multi-talented. Oh no, see, they've stopped now. Yeah, so Leah Kennedy is back at goal defence for us for England. We have Nat Panigari, who has moved into that centre position. And Vicky Asola at wing defence.
And another change in the Welsh lineup as we see them taken to court now. So we see Fern Davies coming back on to court at goal defence.
Yeah, which means Nia Jones has taken to the bench for this quarter, and Amanda Very has come on at wing attack, which means Bethan Dyke has also taken to the bench. Amanda Very, we saw her play wing defence yesterday, which is quite a unique position. We haven't seen Amanda in that much before, but now back in her normal position.
First choice, I would say, is her wing attack bib.
I think a lot of confused faces yesterday, but proved, in my opinion and quite a lot of other people's that I spoke to, a great decision by Trish to bring on that speed of Amanda. She has got a lot of speed and matched McClary quite well yesterday back at wing defence.
It was a good match-up, a really good contest, and you know, we do have players who have a one position specialism, which is always excellent, but it's good to have that variety.
So Wales get the first score on the board in this quarter, looking to try and chip away at that deficit. We see George Fisher and Layla Thomas battling it out at the back, but George Fisher comes out the better so far on that one. Good split there by the attack. Good shot. You can hear Nia Jones encouraging Layla on at the back. She reminds me a bit of Shani Layton.
Yeah,
she's so supportive of a team, continuously encouraging, and a great person on and off the court.
Yeah, and that's what your team are. We always say it's a team of 12, not 7. You know, 7 people take to court, but the 5 in the bench are equally as important.
Absolutely. Contact there by Amanda Very gives England a reset position. Missed by George Fisher, but tipped off the court by Fern Davis means that they'll get another attempt. Good cover by Layla Thomas on that front ball, but clever play by Haythornthwaite. And a good shot there by George Fisher. Strong shutdown there by Wales, but Sasha Corbin coming over.
Look at the speed of that turn from Corbin.
Sasha Corbin, obviously sister of Kadeen Corbin, or Kadeen Corbin, sister of Sasha Corbin, both well-known athletes in the game. And I know Sasha had gone down to support her sister more recently at the Fast Fives and could be heard on the speaker cheering her sister on. Good talk there by Josie Huckle at the back.
So just some more information coming from the officials bench to us, Natalie. In the third quarter, both teams had 17 attempts, so it was evenly matched as we'd anticipated, and 94% shooting from England, taking 16 of those 17 attempts, and 82% from Wales, 14 from 17. So good shooting, good percentages from both teams, but England obviously just slightly ahead in that.
Wales seem to share the shooting in that quarter as well, whereas Cardwell taking the main responsibility for England. Be interesting to see if it's Fisher now that takes that responsibility over.
Yeah, I think Nat Haythornthwaite does offload, fairly regularly, and for all the right reasons in my opinion, but she's not frightened to take the shot, so it's not a case that the defence could double team on the goal shooter to stop that, because Nat would just put the shot up anyway. She's as comfortable doing both.
Cara Jones not too impressed with that delivery, would like the ball to be given back to her, but good feed into row, and Wales capitalise off that. It's interesting watching that setup. England tend to have a very structured setup for their centre passes, and they all know who's going where they're going to be, and that must take a lot of communication, considering these players don't play with each other day in, day out. They're obviously at training camp together, but a lot of them are playing their games in Super League in different teams.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just getting to understand the England way. You've got your set plays, you've got to understand them, you've got to live and breathe them if you're part of that setup, and so that when you come together, and they don't come together as often as other home nation national squads, that their understanding is first class.
Rowe for the shot, and that's a miss that we've not seen too often in this game. Good rebound there, good pick up by Panigari.
Yeah, she's so speedy in that pick up, and now we see her just bang on top of the circle, ready to feed her shooters at the other side.
Nice little pop pass again, and that's what we talked about, that Nat Haythornthwaite will generally opt to pop that ball close to the post to George Fisher, and why not if it's on? There's good discussions, isn't there, to be had over whether you lay it off, or if you're in a shooting position, should they always shoot it?
Yep. Here we go again.
George Fisher has the slight height advantage there as well over the two Welsh defence, meaning that if she's under the post and misses, there's a better chance of scooping up that rebound, whereas if you're further out, it's more difficult to get.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's great positioning.
Good ball there by Cara Jones down to Amanda Varian. Good wide release of that ball there by Amanda, just to offload to Cara.
Yeah, and Leah Kennedy would have had to have been in that position before Cara Lee Mosley stepped in, which is why she's been called for contact, or obstruction rather.
It's not a time where Wales want to have too many misses going on that ball. They're just struggling to get the ball through the net at the minute. Good backup there by Leah Kennedy on that line. Good challenge there by Layla Thomas. Seeing that and running hard on it, but unfortunately gets the contact call.
Yeah, she's worked hard, Thomas. She's worked from the minute she's come on court. She's challenging every ball. She's making the England attack make really, really good choices.
Very hard worker. Herself went out to the World Youth Cup and spent all her time in the airport doing her revision.
There we go. A prime example of that hard work paying off. Great tip, great collection and offloaded to her teammates. Let's see if they can reward her with this goal. Fantastic. Good job.
That was a great drive into the circle there by Carly Moseley.
A bit time called by Georgia Rowe at the moment.
So we see Carly Moseley going on at goal shooter and Sarah Llewellyn coming back on at goal attack. This will really mix up the Welsh attack side now, won't it?
Absolutely. You know, we've got the reintroduction of, you know, Llewellyn at that goal attack, the speeds. Very similar, you know, to Haythornthwaite. You know, I think she's similar type of player. You know, she's got speed, she's got drive, she's not frightened to take the shot on, but she can pass those balls into her goal shooter. She's got the confidence to do it. A lovely height in that shot, Caroline Moseley, great shot.
So Wales have lost the height of Georgia Rowe in the circle, but seeming to opt more now for a moving circle. We'll see how that plays out. Good pressure there by Wales. Susie Drain to Kyra Jones. We'll see it in action now. Oh, good ball by Amanda Varian. Great scoop up by Carolee Moseley. Just can't capitalise on that shot. But again, we talked about that feed being really important, and Cara actually caught that ball behind her as she was going into the circle. So
yeah,
off balance to start off with, do you think?
Off balance, it takes the first second away to readjust your positioning before you put the shot up, so it would have been ideal if it had been placed just in front as she's on the move.
George Fisher, however, needs no second chances. Not quite sure what happened there.
Yeah, I think Llewellyn thought she'd heard the whistle. Maybe she's a bit confused. It is very noisy down courtside. The fans are really into this game, which is great, but can make it quite difficult for the players to hear the umpire.
George Fisher opted not to shoot, but to play it a little bit closer to post. Another player that we saw out at Fast Fives, sinking those shots from the edge of the circle. Under pressure by Thomas, but collects. Unfortunately misses this time, but Wales come out with the rebound. Contact deemed there by Haythornthwaite, but good defence again by Fisher. Just having a word there, Ian Fuller. Unfortunately, we can't hear what he's saying, so not too sure what he was correcting, but just making sure they keep control of the game. Oh, well read by Nat Panigari. Such a speedy player.
Yeah, she just seemed to come from nowhere there and get her hands onto the ball. Unfortunately, no England teammate in the right position to pick it up for her.
Llewellyn there trying to create that front screen, but Leah Kennedy running around it. Nice quick pass from the back line. Great shot there by Carolee Moseley. Takes the score out to England 65, Wales 47. Good drive out the middle. Good communication there between Cara and Sarah. Wasn't 100% sure which way Sarah was going, but Cara knew where she was going. Nice, solid shot there by Sarah Llewellyn. She's very composed. She's such a game face when she gets that ball under pressure. Everything just seems to go. She just nice and calm, stands, pops it in.
Yeah, that's a great trait for a shooter. You know, you really want your shooters to have that calmness and compose. It's not easy. They've got all the work to do, the running, the movement, the same as everyone else. Then they've got to compose and, you know, carry out the technical aspects of that shot. So good job.
An uncharacteristic miss. The other side leaves us back down in Welsh scoring space. No goal. No goal there.
Called for 3 seconds there.
It's still England 65, Wales 48.
Good contest there by Susie Drain, but just called in contact.
Layla Thomas playing quite a clever game there, was running the back of George Fisher trying to push her out. Good strong centre pass defence there by England. Forces Wales backwards. Nice 3 over there. And
Yeah,
that's quite daunting, isn't it, when
it
you're
is.
an attacker and you're
facing a wall. Yeah, it's not an easy thing to break through.
It's nice to see a variety of styles of defence coming out in both teams. Clever play there by Llewellyn, and good positioning by Cara Jones. Good pop. Not sure it was quite expected, but works a treat.
Yep, alert enough to pick it up.
Long diagonal ball there, and great pressure by Cara Jones. She's impressed with herself. A clap with that one.
Yeah, she should be proud of that. She tracked really well and got her hands to it and managed to win the ball for Wales.
Given away. Cara Jones, a very competitive player, but again, another. I mean, it's the same with most of them, isn't it? Or all of them, pretty much. They're so tough and strong on the court, fight for every ball, and then off the court, just so lovely.
Yeah. I think we should never underestimate what these girls actually put into this sport. Most of them, 99% of them, are holding down either full-time education or full-time jobs. We've got some mums on court, you know. I'm sure there's some. The work that they put in is just incredible. To be at this level is all credit to them.
Good pick up there by Amanda Very and Sasha Corbin, trying to make that intercept, but just going offside. Means the ball will start with Amanda. Into Sarah, quick drop pass, and that's a trademark Llewellyn move, isn't it? Cheeky drop pass behind. Nice shot. And that's the shooting that we know and love of Sarah Llewellyn under pressure. Good back up there by Leah Kennedy.
Yeah, the Welsh defence still working really, really hard here, putting pressure and making the England attack keep composure.
Oh, unlucky there for Davis. She was doing a really good job of moving her feet around, but deemed to be causing an obstruction. Fast feet there of Very. Llewellyn draws 3 players, and just that missed pass to Davis turns the ball back in England's favour. We have 1.5 minutes left. Can England push this out to a 20-goal game? Can Wales get the ball back? Good option there by Panagari, and a great offload, off balance by Nat Haythornthwaite.
Yeah,
Pure
just
class.
The speed and the trust in your teammate just to let that ball go. It's fantastic to watch.
1 minute. England looking to get that 70 up on the scoreboard. And again, a nice double play there by Panagari and Haythornthwaite. We have a 20-goal game. Wales will want this goal. They won't want to leave this as a 20-goal game.
And great pressure by Huckle just to force that ball off the back line.
So 11 really strong driving through court. Oh, nice long ball. Fisher, great long stride, and Thomas just getting caught behind. Is there another goal left? Wales will want to stop this just before the end. Contact there by Layla Thomas. Long shot by Fisher, and she scores it from the edge. 5 seconds left. 5 seconds. Can they get it to goal in 5 seconds?
Right in. It's got to go in.
Turn, shoot. Oh, unlucky Wales on that long shot. So, final game of this Netball Europe Championships sees the score 72 to England, 50 goals to Wales. What a great game. Another fantastic display of some awesome prowess, but England just proving too strong at the end.
Yeah, they certainly are. They've just got such depth on the bench as well. You know, they can come on. There's no settling in time. They just take that game onto court immediately. But all credit to all the teams that have been here this weekend. What a display of netball. Fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic to have this level of netball here at Sports Wales in Cardiff. Thank you to Sports Wales for everything that they've done. Thank you to all the media outlets, all the providers, all the volunteers, all the umpires. You know, we could stand here all day and thank everyone, but fantastic game. Well done, England, coming out with the gold medal. Well done, Wales. Valiant effort, valiant fight to the end. That is it for us for now, but do not go anywhere. We have coming up at 2 o'clock the presentations for the medals for this Netball Europe. So thank you very much, Geraldine.
Thank you, Natalie. It was a pleasure.
Thanks everyone for watching back home. Make sure you stay tuned in for the presentation at 2 o'clock.